Angell Town in Brixton, South London, was the scene on the 20th of August 2020 of a birthday party for the rapper Stickz. Stickz is a pioneer rapper for drill music in the UK, one of the earliest artists to make it trend, and also grew in popularity from 2015. His birthday party would end in murder and himself being seriously injured after a ride-out went wrong. During the COVID lockdown of the year 2020, all music venues, pubs and clubs were shut down, so people often celebrated occasions such as birthdays outside, and this led to large gatherings, and in this case it attracted the attention of enemies from a rival area. The rapper 16Shots, also known as Salem Koudou, and two other members of a Stockwell-based group called ABM, entered the Angell Town estate in Brixton in a stolen Volkswagen Golf. And Mr. Koudou, who is a prominent member of TeamRAW from the Stockwell area, comprised of several different blocks, was going there with the intention of trying to kill him.
She's way too smoky. She don't even know. On the pitch, man, moving, dominant, prominent team, she want fuck with the blockers. That's the best of both. Certified drillers and shotters. Rambo glaring, everyone staring, he's still gonna hold this ching. Man do drills that's on site, up them pause that scaffoldings.
Stickz and 16Shots have been antagonising each other, it was said in court, with diss tracks in the run-up to the August 2020 confrontation. And both of them released music videos on channels like GRM Daily, Pac-Man TV and Press Play. It was revealed in court that the tables were turned on 16Shots when he entered the Brixton estate with the intention of murder. The car that he was travelling in crashed and two other men that were inside the vehicle fled, but police found 14 rounds of ammunition, and this led them to believe that one of them was carrying a firearm. At this point, only 16Shots was left in the car, and our coverage from the scene at the time shows that the car was upside down. But they said in court that 16Shots was carrying a Black Panther machete with a 45cm serrated blade, and he got out of the car and attacked Stickz, leaving him with multiple injuries. He was then chased down by other members of the gang, and he was murdered. At the time, I reported that police were called at 5 to 6 on Thursday the 20th of August to report of the fight in Overton Road. The ambulance service attended and so did the air ambulance, and one male believed to be in his 20s was suffering fatal stab wounds. He was taken to hospital, and another man suffered injuries and was also taken to hospital, but he's not life-threatening. The feud between the gangs in Stockwell and Brixton isn't new, and it dates back well over 10 years, as was reported by the Guardian newspaper in the year 2012. This was in relation to the violence and the pace in which it had increased, and the amount of deaths that were connected to certain groups. One of the most prominent groups was Gas Gang, that stood for Guns and Shanks, and this is one of the main reasons Metropolitan Police created the Trident Task Force, with the intention of trying to combat gang violence in the local area, and they associated 80% of murders in Brixton at that time to the group.
Slide to the norm, got a smoke and prick. Man, Steve said he just saw the prick. Then I mean my young G's go speak the prick. Better pussy-os die when the rave is stick. Fuck that wavy shit. I'm sneak back on my crazy shit. Woo-woo.
And it was only this week, on the 13th of July 2023, that a second man has been jailed and convicted for the murder of the rapper 16Shots. Yassine Bullock, 21, was convicted of murdering Salem Koudou, 20, aka 16Shots, and this was one of 3 murder trials. In October 2022, Darius Kwake, 29 years old, was convicted of also murdering 16Shots, and the sentence took place at Woolwich Crown Court on Monday. The judge, Mr. Lee, said, "You both took part knowingly and you had the intention to kill. The tables were turned on 16Shots and you took advantage of this and participated in premeditated murder." Mr. Kwake was jailed for 19 years, and Mr. Bullock, who is also known as KTN from the local area, was jailed for 17 and a half years. M-Dog, who is a rapper from Brixton and part of 150, and also Lil Ras, was found not guilty. During the trial, it was established that there were several different music videos that were released after the murders, and one of them was by KTN, and he made reference on September the 17th, 2020, in a music video that he was a flick knife pro. And this was used in court, and Mr. Glasgow, who was the prosecution, told the jury 16Shots was stabbed more than 30 times, and the injuries he sustained were catastrophic. He was stabbed in his lungs, his liver, and also his stomach. The defence also said that there was a lot of provocation and most of this would have been self-defence, but it was only the fact they chased him out of the estate and then stabbed him that it became murder. If they were just defending themselves while he was attacking them, they quite easily could have proven that it was self-defence. It would be nearly 2 years later that rapper Perm, who was known as Lamar, was gunned down in Brixton, South London. A delivery driver was also killed during that incident, and the Metropolitan Police said they were called at 10 to 8 on Sunday the 13th of October to reports of gunshots, and Dave Nathan, our reporter, went to the scene and seen the car that was surrounded with bullet holes and also the bike that the delivery driver would have been riding. Perm was part of the Brixton group, and the police believe this may have been a retaliation for incidents that had occurred before. But even nearly a year later, nobody has been arrested or charged with the murder of Perm or the delivery driver. And this shows how serious the violence is in the local area and how this has not got any better in the time since the murder of 16Shots. One way the police have been trying to control drill gangs and the way that they communicate via the music is criminal behaviour orders, which were put in place for the first time with rapper Digga D when he was part of a group called 1011. This made sure that the artist couldn't mention anything to do with murders, anything to do with gang violence, and they couldn't mention any postcodes or anything that implicated them in criminal activity. And this was something that became very popular with the police, and a lot of different rappers across the country have been issued with these CBOs. And in some ways, this would definitely have stopped confrontations from escalating. But this story has been covered for the past 3 years, and I really appreciate everybody that supports the channel every single day and make sure that they try to share, like, and also comment on all the stories when possible. I really want to hear what people have to say on this, and please don't forget to follow on social media as well as Scarcity Studios, and I'll be back again very shortly with some more news.